Guys, welcome back. Happy New Year. All the noise, y'all. I was going to pull up some sound effects, but I ain't got none. Y'all, I was going to try to pull up some sound effects, but I don't have any. Okay, welcome back. You know what? Hold on. I think I do have some. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know. Can y'all hear that? That's funny. I do got some sound effects, y'all. It is 2026 officially. Welcome back. Guess who's back? Y'all, happy new year. Happy 2026. 2026. And most importantly, y'all, happy 200th episode of Black News. Can y'all believe it? Y'all know I talked about this a little bit before we went on break. And then just in case you not, hey, I needed that 2 weeks off now. Okay. I needed that time off. I had every intention to at least throw up one more podcast or episode a little earlier. Hey, girl, your girl was tired. I just needed a break. And it was the holiday. So I figured, you know what, y'all busy too. Y'all got stuff going on. Y'all out shopping. Hell, one day it was supposed to drop was actually Christmas. And I believe it was New Year's. Y'all are not listening to no podcast on Christmas and New Year's. Okay. And if y'all are, I'm so sorry. You just couldn't listen to mine because I was relaxing. But it is the 200th episode. I can't tell y'all what I've been talking about for 200 episodes, but we are here. We are in there like swimwear. And I am so appreciative of you all that are still listening, new listeners, the OG Black News listeners. Hell, it's some OG Afterbuzz and Happy Hour, a shot of conversation listeners up on here. So if you've been down from the beginning or if you are new, thank you all for the support. OGs, newcomers, YNs, who knows, whatever, guys. We are here. And again, I appreciate y'all because it be some weeks I be about to give up. I ain't gonna even hold you. It be some weeks where I be about to give up and stop doing this. But I keep coming back. So I just want to first start off and say thank you all for the support and for the love over the years. Hopefully we can keep the party going and continue to come here and talk amongst ourselves as a people. Okay. Especially as things be cooking and heating up as it relates to black culture, black pop culture events, and just black specific topics because hey, already it's starting off to be a hell of a year. So before I get into anything, let me quickly talk about like the new year. Y'all know I said this many times. I don't really set go. I don't set like resolutions. I don't do vision boards anymore. What I've learned over the years, hey, your girl 40 plus. I haven't been around. I done been around, and I am a very well. How do I describe myself? I won't say impulsive, but throughout my life, I have made some very bold and big moves and choices. I have stepped out on faith a many of time. I have been ambitious. I have done all of the things. And throughout all of my journeys, I have learned that it's only so much predicting that you're going to be able to do. Sometimes you going to have the plan together, the vision board, the list, the agenda. It can all be shaping up to be what you thought it was going to be. And then out of nowhere, something going to come and bust you upside the head. And that is going to be by the wayside. I.e., I'll give you a perfect example. The year of the pandemic, 2020. When I tell you I was cooking. The back end of 2019, I would say, yeah, probably all of 2019 leading into 2020, y'all, I was heating up. When I tell y'all that was shaping up to be the year, you see people talk about it was like a year that changed everything. I could feel it. Everything was aligning. Stand up was aligning. I was booking. I was making the right contacts. I was getting on the right shows and the right venues to be able to do to what I need to do. I was about preparing to tape or to record a comedy album. When I tell y'all, I was heating up, and then the pandemic came and shut everything down. After that, I realized I was like, oh, I'm not emotionally equipped anymore to have a plan laid out in the event that it doesn't happen that way, because I learned during that time I it took me a long time to mourn what I thought was supposed to happen and to pick up and pivot. It took me too long to pivot, way too long. And I would even venture to say that that year changed the trajectory of my creative career, in a way that, again, I'm not mad at it. I feel like it was going to naturally happen, and it naturally matches my personality, because y'all, if you really know me from back, it's a couple listeners, Black News listeners, who've known me for a long time personally. Y'all know I'll be all into something, and I'll be doing it, and then one year I'll be like, you know what, I don't want to do that no more, and I completely lose interest, and then start doing something else. So that 2020 also led to me doing that again. But I did not set any goals this year, any hard goals. But for the sake of, the journey and us having conversations, because I'm willing to bet, and I don't know if this is true, some people might relate to where I am in this space that I'm in. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I am like hoping for, and some of my loose plans or just hopes and dreams, based on, again, who I am currently today in 2026 as somebody who is 40 plus. So let's get into that. Okay, so to start it off, I don't know if I've said this to you all. Feel like I've been telling everybody this, child. So I have, y'all know I be repeating stuff on Black News. y'all, y'all, I be repeating stuff, talking about topics, because I be pissed off. And what I'm gonna talk about later, y'all already know what I'm gonna talk about. I'm madder than a mug. It's about sinners. I'm giving you the warning. I'm madder than a mug. But I be repeating stuff, so I probably have said this, but it is very important in my perspective, because, again, I don't know if I'm the only one that relates to this. And I feel like I do, because I feel like I'm not. I've been seeing a lot of content talking about millennials and elder millennials and where we are in our lives right now. A lot of people are experiencing career burnout. What we thought our future would be is not the case. We were sold all of the stuff. We've seen our parents' generation be able to achieve and buy homes and do all these things and blah blah blah. And that just not isn't the case for some of us. I say some because some people are really out here getting to it. But honestly, for me, and as it relates to 2026, and this was where I was in 2025, but I'm really naming it and owning it and standing in it. I don't know who I am anymore, mainly creatively. And that is not a bad thing at all. I actually feel really good about it. Yes, I would like some more clarity, and I'm working to find that, which I'll talk about in just a second. But that is a sign of maturity and where I am in my life, because if I would have felt this same way maybe 10 years ago, it would have been chaos city. Oh my God. I would have been completely in shambles. But I don't know who I am creatively anymore. The things that I really wanted and desired, and I say, let me go back again. I have an idea of where I'm leaning, but I'm letting things flow. Now, I was saying, um, I had an idea back in the day. I was very clear. I was focused on stand up comedy. I moved to LA from New York specifically to do stand up comedy while simultaneously growing a career in entertainment, which included film and television. The stand up comedy scene was still vibrant out here. This was, again, 2010 and on. That whole, if I wouldn't have came in, it wouldn't have worked even from what I did, because it's a whole nother scene, and it low key, it's a mess now. But that is what my intention was. I knew that I had to be open because I learned very quickly you can't come out to LA back then and say you want to do one thing because it would turn into, okay, so what else can you do? What else do you know how to do? What else? What else? What else? What else? So I quickly pivoted into also then started to do hosting, whether that was event hosting, on camera hosting, stand up comedy hosting, you name it. I was a host, radio shows, all that. Then you got to start writing. Started writing, not just jokes, but like writing. I got scripts. Like I have all of this. But even in the nuances of all of that, I knew I wanted to create and I wanted to be the talent. I want to perform and I want to use my gifts to connect with people in that way. I don't really want to do that anymore. Now, let me put an asterisk. Would like to do that in environments that I enjoy and with people that I want to be around. And I'm saying that may sound simple, but y'all, at some point, especially entertainers listening to this, or you go to have friends, entertainers, baby, it be a point you'll do anything with anybody. You ain't gotta like the person. Child, you just trying to book something. You be like, who is it? I hate that nigga, but I'ma do it. Like it literally be like that. But I'm old. I don't wanna do stuff I don't wanna do. I'll say no in a minute. I'm thankful for the ability to be able to say no. I don't need things. But I do still and am still open to creating with my friends who are fun and have exciting projects. We saw that. I was just on went out for a role on my friend Kev on Stage's show Churchy. Had a small role on the episode of Churchy. Great time on set, was around people that I have a good time with. It was just a good time. I love stuff like that. But as driven as I was back in the day, where I was like, I got to be a series regular. I need to want to be on a network show, and I want to do. Hey, I don't really. Hmm. I prefer being behind the scenes now. I want the money. I want the cash. And a lot of times the cash comes with not being in front of the camera, baby. It's behind. So give me the paper. I also want to, I think I've tap back into my creative writing. So when I first started actively pursuing entertainment aggressively, some of y'all may also remember I had a blog where I used to write blog posts about just anything that I was feeling and going through. Some were create. It was all kind of stuff. Child, I was even when Dish Nation was still like an online blog, I was even writing articles for Dish Nation. This was back when they wouldn't even let you put your name on an article. They would just say it's from Dish Nation staff. It's some Dish Nation content out there from 2012 that's mine. But that's a whole nother thing. I want to get back into that. I also have a passion to make a documentary. I'm, slowly doing research and trying to put it together if it's feasible for me or if I can pull it off because I've never done anything like that. So when I say I don't know who I am creatively, I am opening myself up to God and to the universe to send to me and to push me towards the creative endeavors that are next in my life and for me. Again, if you would have talked to me and this would have been the case some years ago, baby, I would have been had a nervous breakdown. Child, I would have been checked into the UCLA Health, okay, inpatient facility. So this whole place I am in is just, again, I'm actually fascinated with myself and what and how I'm feeling. For Black news, again, I be joking and saying sometimes I be wanting to quit, but hey, I will see. Like I'm just so open, y'all, to everything. Another priority of mine, and this is y'all, the 40 plus, y'all will get this, or anybody who has experienced any medical challenges or has some hardships when it comes to that. Y'all, this year and the years to come, I just want to be healthy. Y'all, I just want to be healthy. Like, y'all know it was some years I was knocked. down. It was so bad, y'all. I'm telling y'all. And I probably said this. I don't know if I even revealed this much. It was to the point I was dealing with some pain issue, chronic pain issue that was so bad I was going to end my life. That's how bad it was. That's not a joke. I'm so serious. I was getting my affairs in order. It was that bad. And after coming out of something like that, baby, I just want to be healthy and live. And that may be what is contributing to me being in this place of peace, not knowing what my journey entails creatively. Because maybe I'm just happy to be healthy and to be here. Everybody don't make it. So for 2026, on top of being open to whatever is in store for me and what's next, healthy, I want to be happy. I feel the most content and at peace than I have in years. Okay. Low key, I think it's because I removed myself from the dating industrial pipeline or the dating industrial complex. Y'all, one of my homeboys, I told him I call it the dating industrial complex. He said, "You remove yourself from the DIC." I bust out laughing, y'all. I removed myself from the DIC. Yeah. What I've removed myself. That has freed up so much of my mental and emotional capacity to just live and just to be a happier person. In addition to those things, I want to be wealthy. I want the money. I want the paper. I know people be like, we shouldn't strive for all of these things. But it costs $1 million a month to rent an apartment in Los Angeles County. So from a baseline level, if you live out here, you gotta want the money because you have to be able to live. Hey, baby, it ain't this. Hey, this is not rent. It ain't no $800 dollar apartments. Them. Hey, it costs a lot of money to live out here. So I want to be papered up in 2026. So those are some of the general goals that I have. On top of that, I want to travel. I want to I really want to go to Brazil. I mentioned this before. I also have been influenced on TikTok because I've been chronically online to walk the Camino de Santiago from Portugal to Italy. I am lightly training for that. That is a like 100-mile walk or something. It's crazy. It's like a 15-day walk. I really want to do something like that. So I just want to travel and have experiences. And I'm just open, y'all. I'm just open to whatever is in store. The positive. I ain't open to no negativity and no struggle and strife. Get that up out of here. But those are the things that I'm wishing for in the new year. What do y'all want for this new year? And again, I want to de-influence. Yes, you have to, goals are important. Structure is important. But I want to de-influence this feeling that is being pushed upon people, especially women and Black women, that we got to have the checklist intact. We have to have all of these things identified. I want to de-influence that. If you just want to go with the flow, go with the flow. If you just want to kick it with your friends and family, kick it with your friends and family. If you just want to be booed up with your man for the year, be booed up with your man. You just want to get you a new dog, hey, get a dog. Whatever. I want all of us to find a little more peace in the new year, especially as things continue to get more chaotic around us. So let me know what your goals are for the year if you have any. And I'll be excited to hear from you all about it. You can find me at Canelia on social media. So it felt like over the break, there were a lot of things happening, but nothing at all. And I'm low key glad some of this happened during the break because I didn't want to feel pressured to talk about it in depth. I'm just going to lightly mention it just to know y'all know I saw it. There was one particular artist, woman artist, who done switched over to the red hat side. I ain't touching that one. I feel like y'all know me enough to know how I feel. So I ain't even got to go there. But those were some of the chaotic things that were taking place. But most recently, and again, this isn't 100% black news specific, but this is major news. And y'all know I'm going to talk about some politics when we get on here. And I think this is going to shape up to affect everybody, regardless of who you are. It is y'all's friend who sits in that house, the big old house on the East Coast, done ran up in Venezuela and took their leadership, brought them back over here. And now I guess they think that's about to be our country. I guess they're about to say that. Now, a lot of conversation, yeah, again, and I'm gonna say this again for the new listeners. There's certain names and words that I'm not gonna use because I'm willing to bet and I'm convinced that I'll be getting flagged. There was two times I have an automatic upload to my YouTube. There was two times where I was specifically saying a lot of words that the upload got flagged and canceled, and it did not allow me to post it from that site onto YouTube. You can't tell me I ain't being monitored. Okay, there's a monitoring spirit in our midst. Okay, I feel the presence of a monitoring spirit. Okay, so I'll be talking in code, but a lot of people, Gen X and millennials, when the invasion of that specific country, Venezuela, happened this or last week, people were saying it is reminiscent of things that happened in Iraq and Afghanistan. Remember, it was the whole Saddam and Gulf War, Desert Storm, or all this Gaddafi, you name it. And it does seem similar. To the point where a lot of Gen X and elder millennials were like, well, it looks sound like 1991 to me, because at the root of it, it sounds like all of this is just about oil. Who knew that Venezuela was sitting on the largest oil supply in the world? I wouldn't have thought that. I saw a graphic on my social media. It blew my mind. I had no clue. What also happened weeks before that there were bombings in Nigeria. Both of these circumstances, we get mixed messages because people are like, oh, the residents are happy and excited. People are cheering. And you got people who are there on the ground saying that's not the case. You got people here in the States who are natives of those countries saying, yeah, we're excited. But then you got people contradicting and say, but you over here, if you were so happy, why you still? So it's just a mess. But what us at the Black News listeners are needing to just keep our eye on, because again, we told y'all this was happen. All you had to do was vote for the black lady. That's all you had to do. We have now the potential to be at war with these other countries. Like they're y'all, like what we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? And I'm saying that because we seeing all this happen. We seeing it break down. We see people talking about the military they need to defy illegal orders. Y'all, I'm willing to bet these people boots on the ground, they don't know what these illegal orders, they don't know this. People are soldiers. You got some 18-year-olds on the front line. They don't know what an illegal order. They don't know this. They're going to do what they told. But what are we supposed to do? Okay? That's that that's the priority. Because as this continues to escalate and conversations about now Cuba and Greenland enter the chat, are we just supposed to sit here and watch? Are we supposed to rebel? Or are we just at the mercy of the powers that be? I don't know the answer to that. I don't predict the Black News listeners knows as well. But it's something that we're going to be dealing with, unfortunately. And again, it happened at the top of the new year. So a happy 2026 in regards to that. Of course, as things develop and continue on, I will provide updates, of course, especially if it has a deeper impact on the Black News listeners. But I just wanted to acknowledge that, so you all know, yes, I also see it. I'm also concerned. I'm with you, and I know y'all with me. Okay. If you got any tips on how to calm your anxiety, please throw them my way, because, hey, I ain't going to even hold you. Hey, anxiety on 100,000. But let me know your thoughts about it, or if you kind of just tuned it out. Are you on the side of just, oh, it is what it is, ain't nothing we can do about it, so oh well. If so, let me know. Tell me how to do that. Okay. Let me know. You can find me at Cornelia on social media. Now, y'all know I warned y'all. I've been warning y'all that this award season, this gonna be a Sinners promotional podcast. Not officially, because I don't know Proximity Media. Okay. I don't know them. I hope to get to know them. Okay. But y'all know I am so moved by that film. I love what Proximity Media is doing. Ryan Coogler is my favorite director. I am usually pretty in tune with what is happening as far as film when we get to this time of year. I am a voting member of SAG-AFTRA, so I get the screeners every year. But this year in particular, I feel like I am on a personal quest to prove, whether it is to myself, a few people, or just so I can have that pat on the back that I know what the F I be talking about, that Sinners is the best movie of 2025. And I would even venture out to say one of the best movies of the last 10 years. Now, I've said that before. I also gonna update y'all on the end of this with I went over down to the Center screener with Denzel and Delroy Lindo. I'll play a clip of the audio that I got from there. But before I get into the meat of it, I went to the screening with Sinners. Now, it's when it is the season for film review or awards, all this other stuff, they have screeners all across the country, mainly in LA and New York. Some of the screeners include discussions. I think I talked about this before, but I'm just giving y'all the info again. So you watch the movie, and then there is a Q&A or a panel sometime. Sometime when we up, you just go home. This one was with Delroy Lindo and Denzel Washington. Denzel, it was noted many times that he does not do these. He don't host no panel. He had his little interview notes and cards together. He was asking them questions, okay? He had a cold, was sick. He still showed up for Mr. Delroy. But one thing I will point out, that theater held maybe 200 to 300 people. The majority of that crowd had not seen Sinners. And I'm pointing that out because people do not be watching these films. They don't watch. I've said it before. And when I was in there, Sinners came out in April. It is on multiple streaming platforms. A lot of the guilds have already sent out their screeners, so people have access to these movies. You could have bought it. It got put back into the movie theaters multiple times, even as late as Halloween. And people that packed theater still had not seen it. So just keep that in mind as these awards start to play out. But with that said, it has started. The Critics' Choice Awards was this past weekend. Sinners was nominated, I believe, for 17. They had 17 nominations, took home 4. I was heated. And shout out to the people, Black News listeners, y'all. Shout out to y'all who was tagging me and was like, girl, I know you was mad. y'all know me so well. Y'all know people, Twitter, like, Instagram, y'all know me so well. Y'all, it was tagging like, I know you, girl. I know you pissed. I was. Sinners took home a Best Original Screenplay, Ryan Coogler. Best Score, Ludwig Göransson. Miles Caton got the Best Young Actor award. And the fourth one went to Best Casting and Ensemble. Did not get Best Picture, did not get Best Director. Those were won by Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, which I watched. So far on my list, I haven't gotten very far on the list of movies that I'm going to watch that are in the conversation. So far, I've only seen Sinners, Weapons, Hedda, One Battle After Another. I tried to start watching Frankenstein, but I was doing the dishes. I had to cut it off. Same with Train Dreams. I was busy doing something. I had to cut off. You got to focus with those. But For the ones that I did watch so far, one, Hedda, y'all not talking about Hedda enough. Y'all not talking about Hedda. Tessa Thompson be acting like dinner. She be acting better than a mug. And for the people who was trying to say Weapons was better than Sinners, you know you done lost your mind. Y'all be this is why I'm on this quest. Because some of this is absolutely ridiculous. Was Weapons a good movie? Sure. Was it better? Y'all, I literally wanted to cuss anybody out who had the audacity to say Weapons was better than Sinners. Like y'all got to stop with this. Y'all got to stop with this. But I did watch one battle after another. And this is what, for me, one of some of the things that make a good movie or make it the best, need to be in the best conversation. When you leave and you are so moved in any way, whether it's by the characters, the acting, the themes, anything, to the point where you consistently and constantly are thinking about that once that movie shuts off. Now, one battle after another won the best picture and best director. When I stopped watching that movie, I was not thinking about that movie. I was thinking about the type of person who considers that movie the best. I'll elaborate. Was it shot well? Yes. Were there some moments in there where the action was great? Cinematography? Yeah. But specifically as it relates to the depiction of the Black women characters, especially in the first 30 minutes. And if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, I don't know if I'm going to spoil too much, but spoiler alert. If you have, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of people are defending this movie and saying it's great because it's satire. But one thing that happens that I noticed, people hide racist stereotypes. In this case, they hide their love for race kink and race play behind it's just satire. And even if something is satire, and if a character is designed to be chaotic and a bad person, it still needs to be written well. And it wasn't. There were points and moments in the first 30 minutes specifically, where I thought, even in a satirical world, this character wouldn't even do this. It was almost as if a white person wrote what he thinks a stereotypical Black woman would do. And you can tell. That's what you can tell. It was kind of rooted in that. I also think people who like it, they got a whole race king thing. I ain't gonna even hold you. It's just y'all gotta watch it so I can talk more about it. I think the people who like this and thought it was the best, it speaks very loudly about their character versus what is actually a quality and great movie. I'm going to say that. Were there great performances? Absolutely. Great moments? Yes. But in order to be considered the best, you cannot have a chunk of one demographic screaming out into the abyss saying, hey guys, this is inaccurate. This is culturally inaccurate. What the fuck? But with that, I also discovered some interested in things on social media while I was having these debates, because y'all know I be going off, kind of going off, not really. I realized one other reason why certain people don't like Sinners. I was talking back and forth to this person online who was saying that he didn't like it, and he was dancing around the language. He basically said the movie didn't give an opportunity to show the nuances within all of the people featured in the film. And he kept dancing around it. And I kept asking, he kept dancing around it. And then the conclusion that came for that is he wanted, and maybe a lot of people, y'all know what I mean when I say this, wanted to see the redeeming qualities of the Klan. Some people felt like that the movie made it seem like all of the white people in town were bad. And the story did not allow time to show some good people in town who weren't Black. And that made the story choppy, and it made it just wasn't a good depiction. If you got to be shown all 15,000 residents of Clarksdale, Mississippi, to know that they ain't all bad, and that the 20 people who showed up versus 15,000 were guys, I don't know what to tell you. I ain't got nothing else to tell you. But that gives you an insight of what people are picking at when they say they did not like the movie. Sometimes it's as simple as you did not show that there were good guys in the Klan. Look, that's it. You did not show that maybe they had some redeemable qualities. So all of these things are just some stuff that I discovered, but I am still on track. I am also not emotionally prepared for the rest of this season because I am fully expecting Sinners to win every award that they nominated for. And when they don't, I'll be pissed off. Y'all keep me lifted. I know I had nothing to do with making this movie, but I am on a mission. Okay. I am on a mission. I also want to leave with this because I don't want to. I'm gonna keep talking about this every week. So hey, baby, the Golden Globes is this Sunday. I'm coming back and I'm mad again. Okay, I'm willing to be. I'm gonna be madder than a mug. Y'all remember that movie? What was it? Time to Kill, Too Late to Kill, Hard to Kill, whatever the movie was with Matthew McConaughey and the little black girl in the South that was brutally assaulted by members of the town. And there was that infamous court scene in the movie where he told the jury to close your eyes and he described the situation that happened. And then he said, now, what if she were black, or what if she were white? However he framed it. Let's do this. Let's have the same. Let's have the same practice. Because y'all not gonna be disrespecting Ryan Coogler. Let's close our eyes. Imagine if there was a young director who his first feature film debut, he created a film festival darling, a movie shot on an extremely low budget with an extraordinary cast, was able to get a producer team with the names of Forrest Whitaker to back it. And it did so well that again, it became this darling and solidified the the talent of a particular director in the young age of maybe late 20s. This director then did such a good job and was such a good writer that the story he created was able to be pitched to a Hollywood superstar and was responsible for the movie that he directed, the big budget movie, was responsible for revitalizing a almost dead franchise to the point where we are now at 3 spin-off movies and an upcoming television series. Brought it back to life. This director's in his early 30s. Then imagine that same director taking a Marvel comic book character and writing and directing a film that was great enough 2 times to earn a combined over $1 billion at the box office, to the point where that was the first Marvel movie that people were considering nominating for major movie awards. That person is only in his mid 30s, early to mid 30s. Did it twice. 2 times global box office. Then that same director wrote and directed an original film, original screenplay about Black and Asian and Native residents in 1932 Mississippi Delta, a demographic of people that is not usually greenlit for stories in Hollywood, created this story and made a film that was so good that it grossed over $300 million at the global box office. And he is only in his late 30s. 5 back-to-back bangers. 5 movies that are all rated fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. all, I believe, no less than 80 some percent score. That's audience score and critic score. I would even venture out to say 90 some percent, all by his late 30s. If the person I described were a young white man in his late 30s, y'all will be calling him the next Steven Spielberg. We would not be having no conversation about what the best is. This late 30-year-old man is a genius. He's single-handedly bringing Hollywood back to life. He's the next coming of Steven Spielberg. He may be the next James Cameron. Oh my God, he's the next Martin Scorsese. The duo between Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. They're the next Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh my God, he's only in his late 30s. We wouldn't be having none of these conversations, and y'all know it. That's why I'm not letting up. Because what this director has been able to achieve, and he's not even 40, would be deemed as genius level effort if he were someone else. Cut the shit. I just want to put that out there. So with that, let me know what y'all thoughts about all of this are. Okay. And I'm so sorry. I'm going to give y'all warnings before I start talking about this, because y'all know I'm going to be cooking on this every week because I'm out for blood. Okay. But let me know. Let me know y'all thoughts. And I'm going to try to talk about it late in the episode. So if you want to skip by, you can skip by it and then just jump to the end. But whatever. Let me know your thoughts about it. You can find me at Cornelia on social media. And then again, I'm going to play a quick clip of that panel with Denzel and Delroy so you could just hear some of the stuff they were talking about.